everyone, this is Gloria at Scraps of Life blog. I want to share with you today this altered box and mini album project that I made for Graphic 45 using primarily their Love Notes collection. I'm going to give you a little walkthrough of the project, explain a couple of things, and at the end there will be a link for a video for making the album that goes inside this box. So if you're all ready, let's get started. Right, the products that I use for this project are first this book box from Graphic 45. It is about a 5 by 7 by maybe 3-inch box that comes with 3 of the regular size craft tags. This is the craft version. I used the black version, but I couldn't remember if I videoed it before I took it out of the packaging. So this is what it looks like when it comes packaged from Graphic 45. Like I said, the book box comes with 3 of the regular size tags, and I used all 3 of the ones that came in the box for the little album that I made. I think I may have cut maybe a 1/2 inch off the bottom to make them fit in my pockets, which you'll see as we flip through the book. And then you will need a package of the matte pearls. You can see that I only used the gold and silver. I didn't use any of the black in the album. This is what the packaging looks like when it comes to you. And then I also used, I think, sorry, my cord is getting in there. I used, I think 6 or 7 of the little ATC size tags in the black. I think 7. I used 6 in the book and 1 for closure, I'm pretty sure. Then to cover the tags, I used the dies. This is the regular die. It comes like this with a plate of gears. And when you cut out your paper, it will fit exactly over the black tag with a little bit of the black showing around the outside. And I also used the ATC, which comes in this package with the large and all these flowers and leaves and the ATC. So I used the ATC tag, and I used the leaves out of this set of dies. And then I also used the square and clock die. I only use this doily die from this die set. Then you will need a piece of 12 by 12 chipboard, black chipboard. Graphic 45 now carries that in their store. What I used is not Graphic 45. I used is a little bit thicker because I had purchased this in bulk at some point in time, and I still have a lot of it. So I used this to create the album. And then you'll need about 12 or so sheets of black cardstock, just plain black cardstock. I think I used about 12 sheets of that. And then you will need a package of the Love Notes paper. This is the collection pack. It comes with 2 each of the 8 papers, so 16 double-sided sheets, and then you get 2 sheets of the stickers. And so I used the stickers, and I think I only had a couple of pieces of this paper left, some partial sheets and a couple of full sheets. I didn't have the ephemera cards, so I did cut the 2 ephemera sheets that come in the pack apart and use those as the ephemera cards in my project. And I also used a pad of the Love Notes Patterns and Solids. Just a few sheets out of here. This is the one that got damaged by getting wet, but I was able to use it anyway. I just ignored the wrinkly part at the bottom. Then I also used the chipboard from Love Notes. I used quite a few, maybe about half the package of those. And I used the Love Notes tags and pockets. Again, I used about half of what comes in the package. Then I also used some of the Mon Amour collection. I used the 6 by 6 patterns and solids. Back when Graphic 45 first started doing patterns and solids, they came in a 6 by 6 instead of 12 by 12. And so I used some of the patterns and solids because they're sort of a pattern on the back as well as the front of some of the sheets. It's like a flower pattern on the back, and the colors matched with the Love Notes collection. So I used that. And then I used a few of the Mon Amour tags and pockets, just a couple of things from here. And I think I used 2 from the Chipboard 1 set from Mon Amour, and a few pieces of paper from that collection. I used the Dearest Darling. I did some fussy cutting of flowers from that. And from One and Only and My Beloved, I used some of the cut-aparts. If you could also use the ephemera cards that come with this collection, but I used the paper. And then I used a couple of sheets of Precious, I think 1 sheet of Precious One, and then 1 sheet of True Love, which I really wanted for the text print on the back of that. Then from Curtain Call, which is an old collection that I have in my stash that I still really love, I used this polka dots. It's called Leading Ladies. And then it looks like this on the back, but I didn't use that side, just the polka dots. And then this piece is called Let's Dance, and I used this image here, and I used some of the piano because it matched the piano in the Love Notes collection. And then the back of it is music. So that was I think I just used 1 sheet of that also. Then I used some of the patterns and solids from Cityscape because the blacks and the reds in this were matched Love Notes. I especially like this with the sort of diamond pattern. There's a black and a red in here. And there's some stripes also that matched. I used 1 image from the Cityscapes Grand Tour. There was a postcard that I thought matched, and so I used that. And then I used 1 sheet of patterns and solids from Nature Sketchbook in the green just to cut some leaves. So that is what you need for the project. The box is a book box style that Graphic 45 makes in the black. It's a paper mache box that opens up, and then there's an album inside. The box does not come with an album. It comes with 3 tags instead, and so I made an album from scratch. You can also see that I made a little base for my box so that I could put the claw feet on it that Graphic 45 sells. And I learned how to make this from Annette Green. She has a tutorial on how to make a base for any size box. And I will put that link in there too, so you can go to her tutorial and find out how to make the base. It is very easy to follow and figure out how to do your measurements for any size box that you like. So the box and the base are about 7 inches by 5 inches by, the box itself is a little more than 2 inches, I think, maybe 2.5. And then the little base is just 3/4 of an inch tall. But it's just enough to put these claw feet on because they need a lot of surface area. And the way the box is made with this lip, you can see the lid has a lip. The feet just didn't have a whole lot to grab onto. So now that it has this base, the feet can grab on all the sides and stay nicely glued. You can see that I covered the box on all sides with paper from the Love Notes collection, and then I added some detail to the top with some paper flowers. Now these are not the Graphic 45 flowers, these are just some I had in my stash. I did use the Graphic 45 pearls, some chipboard, and this is a sticker that I put onto some cardstock and then lifted up with several layers of just scrap chipboard, some little chipboard elements. This is a piece of one of the Love Notes tags and pockets, and this is a piece of the Mon Amour tags and pockets. You can also see I have a little heart charm. I hope that that's picking up. And then I have a little teeny tiny envelope charm right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. Sometimes the lighting is a little weird here. Okay, and then I have made a latch with one of the ATC tags, the black tag, that I covered with paper and added a little chipboard piece, and it has a Velcro closure. I found that the magnet wasn't strong enough to hold the lid down because my album got a little thick. So then once you open, the album will lift out, and you can see that the inside of the box, the lid and the inside of the box, are also covered with paper from Love Notes and Monomore. I kind of combined the two collections, and at the beginning I showed you all the different products that you need to make this. So you can see all the different papers. I'll set the box aside for now and take a look at the album. Now, the album I made from scratch out of chipboard, and there will be a tutorial link down below for you to go and see the tutorial for this. How to make the basic book, and how to make the pages and add the pages. It's not a full tutorial with a cut list for all the different papers, because once you have the book made, you can measure and cut your papers and use any collection you want, and you can just follow through the style that I did with your own papers and your own flair. The book itself measures, I think, 4 1/4 tall. 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 by 2 is the size of the book. And I don't often do a landscape style. I usually do more of a portrait, but I have made one of these once before and I had some issues with it. So I wanted to make it again and see if I could work out the kinks. And I think it came out pretty well. I just used black chipboard covered with black cardstock and then added the various papers. So here you can see I have a Love Notes cut apart in the front, a little chipboard from Monomore with one of the Graphic 45 pearls, a Love Notes chipboard with some sparkly gold twine behind it. And I wanted to dangle some things from the spine, but because it has to fit in the box, I couldn't do that. So I just have a sticker here on the spine, which was kind of a bummer, but I wanted it to fit in the box. So that's kind of how it ended up. And just plain paper on the back. So when you open the book, I always like to put a little something in the front cover of the book. And so here I made a pocket that goes this direction, and so it fits one of the Graphic 45 regular tags. I may have cut the tag down a little on some of these, but I think the full size tag fits in the front. And so it goes in this orientation, and then I have just a postage cutout here for decoration on the tag. And the back is just have a little paper strip decorating the back. So you could put a photo on here or whatever you would like. And then this is a little tag and pocket that I put for some journaling. And these little pearls, this one must not be sticky enough. He keeps wanting to slide away from where his little stickum is. I might have to put some little glue on him. It's possible I dropped it and it has some fuzz on the back. This is popped up with some foam. I don't know if you can see that or not, just to raise it up just a little bit. And then the book itself has several pages that I repeat over and over, and I explained that in the tutorial how you would make a book like this and how you can alter the pages if you have 2 or 3 of the same page and you just sort of alter where they are in the book to give it some interest, but not so many pages that it would be complicated or time consuming to make. So this one is a top loader that has a photo mat inside. And the photo mat, I try to keep them just plain paper so that you can add a photo, or if they're light colored, you could add some journaling. And it just slips right back in there. And then I have a little, like a stopper here. You can't tuck anything under this one. This was a sticker that I raised up, but you could still put a photo or add a journaling block or something on here if you wanted to. And the back of that page has another pocket that has a photo mat, and this time I do have this open so that you could put something, the tuck spot there. And also in the back there's this for a tuck spot, so you could tuck something up under. And then the pocket itself has a journaling card on it. Again, there's a tuck spot here. Then this page is a flip out, so the top of the flap has a tuck spot, and then when you open it, there's a tuck spot here, and then here is a pocket for another photo mat, and decorated with some of the stickers lifted up on chipboard or foam tape. This is another page that's just flat without flips or pockets, but I put a border and then I fussy cut one of the little sentiments out of the paper and pop that up with foam tape. Then this set of pages has a mirror. They're the same, and so they flip up. Both of them flip with tuck spots. Look, there's a tuck spot here, and then the pocket has two ATC tags covered with paper, and I used the dies to cut the paper to fit the tags. But you could also put photos or journaling cards, whatever you wanted in those pockets. And this also is a tuck spot here with a photo mat. And you can see I combined Monomore with Love Notes and a few other collections for this. And here's a little chipboard with a pearl. And then the back of this, this is Curtain Call. I love this image. And I put a chipboard from Love Notes on there. This should be open, but I think I accidentally glued it. So it's not a tuck spot. It should be. I don't know if I can pry that up or not. We'll see. Then here I made sort of a little side pocket with one of the ephemera cards and tucked a tag inside. And then this is a top loader for a photo mat. You can see that I lined the very top edge, so this little notch pull-out area is got paper behind it, so you don't see the black cardstock. I just use little strips of paper that are left over from other cuts. I kind of keep them and use them for that sort of thing. There's another pocket with a tag, and you can tell I cut this tag down a little bit, maybe ½ inch off the bottom. You can still use the die to cut your paper. You just need to remember to cut your paper down and re-round the corners before you cover everything up. And I use this punch. See if you can see. It's a Katomaru, I think, Pro. It's a Japanese product, but it has a small, medium, and large size curve for the punches. And I use the large for these Graphic 45 tags that fit in there, and you can punch the corners again. But I found this on Amazon for, I don't know, $12. It is an excellent punch. I've had it for maybe a year or 2 years now, and it's been working very well. There's another flip up page with a tuck spot at the top, and then just a journaling spot here that I added a little pearl to the butterfly. And this one is a pocket that holds a photo mat and 2 of the ATC size tags. And just a piece of ephemera from the tags and pockets that I popped up with foam tape. Here I added, this is a Curtain Call piece of paper that has a large keyboard on it that I added to the flap with a piece of chipboard, and then this flips up. And then I made a little pocket here for some ephemera with a key and a button, chipboard button, and then this flips up again for another tuck spot, and then a journaling area. And then just a plain piece. Again, I think I glued this accidentally, so you can't tuck anything under. I should be more careful with that, but I could probably pry that up a little bit. This flap, I did a lot of fussy cutting. If you can see if the camera is picking that up or not. I fussy cut some flowers and just added some dimension with some of the pearls to this flap. And then this opens. There's a tuck spot here with a journaling block and a tuck spot here. Here's another pocket, and this time I have a photo mat and a small tag. Here's another page where I used one of the Monomoore ephemera cards, or a cut apart, I think, and I did some fussy cutting, added some Monomoore and some Love Notes flowers and things there to make a little pocket for this little tag to fit inside. And then this is also a pocket here for a photo mat. A tuck spot here. This is the last page, and then the back of the album has another pocket for a tag with one of the tags and pockets tags glued to the top for decoration. And then again, the back is just plain. Again, I had to keep this quite flat so that it would fit in the box like this. And it fits in there just perfectly. It sticks up just a little, but once you press it down and close the lid, it fits in there very well. So I hope you like the project. If you want to see the tutorials, you'll check the links down below. I will have links there for you for making the book and for making the base, the Annette Green tutorial.